What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Knowledge, seven-figure entrepreneur in the notary space. I'm going to show you guys how to hit $1,000 a day as a notary, notary required. So I know when people are hearing this, they're like, oh man, $1,000 a day as a notary is not possible, blah, 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 blah. But it is. And I've done way more than that in the notary industry. So I'm going to teach you guys exactly how I do it, how you should do it, and kind of like a step-by-step sort of overview thing. But first things first, and I always start off like this, letting you guys know that you need to be in a high-paying niche. And I always say this, if you watch multiple videos, I always say a high-paying niche, because what it's going to do is lower the amount of jobs you need in a day to hit it. So if you're doing these $50 a day jobs and you're like, oh man, $1,000 a day is not possible, $1,000 a day is not possible, it's because you're charging way too low. In order for you to hit a $1,000 day as a $50 notary, that's what, 1,000 divided by 50. You need 20 notarizations in a day. Is it possible? Yes. Is it time consuming? Yes. But now, if you want to do, you're charging 200. If you're charging 200 for your notary service, all you need is 5. Now, does 5 sound reasonable? Notary jobs usually take about an hour, most like max, unless you're doing like a big estate planning thing. But usually the notary jobs are like, honestly, mine have been like a minute. The only one that I've had that's gone to like 3 hours, I was doing this large estate planning package in Boca Raton outside with mosquitoes tearing my arms up. Anyways, but that's the only thing that took me like 3 hours long, and I had to bring a witness with me, and we were just going through all those documents. But other than that, it's usually been like 30 minutes. Most of the times it's just like talking to the customers. But anyways, getting back to it. High-paying niche is what you need. So now charging $50 for your service, trash. Charging $200, depending on the service that you're doing, much more reasonable. So what are the high-paying niches, right? This is going to be the one you always hear me talk about. And honestly, it's just my favorite, so I always say this one. That's estate planning. Those are usually packages of documents. So that's your power of attorney, that's your trust, that's your healthcare derivatives, that's your will, so on and so forth. That's your estate planning. After that, you have your apostilles. Usually international documents. Apostilles, send them into the Secretary of State. Not one of my favorites, but very high paying. You got fingerprinting. Very popular. And you're able to get big jobs with the fingerprinting. And then last but not least, ooh, I'm sneezing a lot. Estate. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. Estate planning, you have your apostilles, you have your fingerprinting, you got your, honestly, sometimes even your power of attorneys. Your power of attorneys. And then there's one more that I'm forgetting off the top of my head. And it's a super one. I forgot. But anyways, high-paying niches such as this one. You have the estate planning, you have your apostilles, you have your fingerprinting, you have your power of attorney. These are the easy documents. You know what I'm saying? They're not like hard to do, but it's like when you do this, you know that you could come out with $200 plus for the documents. And then one thing I want to say is that when you're doing them, just practice. You could go to Google, look up some images, go to YouTube, look at what these documents look like before getting to the appointment. So that way, when you're actually doing the appointment, you have confidence in what you're doing. And when you have more confidence in what you're doing, you're able to complete these documents faster. So first things first, raise your prices and go into a high-paying niche. The problem is a lot of you guys are, I'm not going to say a lot of you guys, and I don't want to say I'm rude when I'm saying this, but if you don't come from a background of money, where you have like a lot of money, when you start charging people like $200 plus, it's going to feel like a lot to you. It's going to feel like, oh my gosh, it's just so much money I'm charging them. My service isn't worth that, but it is. What's a lot and what's expensive to you, oftentimes it's not expensive to everybody else around you. So don't assume that. Don't judge people's financial situations on what your financial situation is. That's a rookie move, a rookie mistake. Charge your prices and make sure you do a great job. Moving on to the next thing. Oops, where are my notes? You want to stack your appointments efficiently, obviously, because when you're going through these appointments, when you're knocking out these 5 in a row, whether you're doing $200 a day or $200 an appointment, $100 appointment, you need to make sure you have them in order and space them out. So stack appointments efficiently. Stack your appointments efficiently. This means that whatever. So let's say, for example, you have an appointment that is. Let's say that you're on the phone with somebody and you know that you have an appointment an hour before. you don't want to schedule that appointment for just like a 1 hour gap. I would even give yourself a little bit more time and also take into account traffic, right? So you already know that traffic is usually around 5 o'clock, which is rush hour, depending on the state or city that you're in. But it's safe to say 5 o'clock is usually rush hour. But a lot of times it can start before that, around 4. So if you know it's something like around those times that the appointment is going to be, give yourself extra time. Don't try to make it just to make them happy. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to like say that you could do something that you can't. You want to keep your word. So I'd rather you give more time. Say that you're going to be there at 6 o'clock, but then you get there like 30 minutes early. It's always better to be super early than super late, obviously. So stack your appointments efficiently. Number 3. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot on. You need to have your add-ons. So when I say add-ons, you'll hear me talk about this too. It's more so like having a la carte services. So what you can do to get those $100 appointments up, or those $200 appointments, make even more for them, is having your add-ons or your a la carte services. So that could be something like, for example, that could be printing, right? That could be mailing. That can be picking up a document, pick up docs. That could be bringing witnesses. Sorry, bad handwriting, and I'm writing fast. But those are like the add-on services. So, for example, if you have a $100 appointment and you have to bring 2 witnesses and they want you to print, that's easily gone up. That's almost a $200 appointment, because for those witnesses, each you bring is $50, right? And then when you print out documents for them, your discretion is advised. You can charge them that $10, you can charge them the $20, whatever your heart desires. But what I'm saying is, you can add those services on to whatever service you have, making your your cost per customer more. You want to raise that as much as possible, because then, like I said, it lowers the amount of jobs you have to complete in a day to hit that 1,000. And then honestly, guys, once you hit that 1,000, it's really going to be like a mental shift, or like a glass ceiling broken. Because all it is a mental barrier. When people are talking about it, they're like, oh my gosh, it's $1,000 a day. But once you hit it, it's just like, oh, this is possible. And then at that point, once you find out that it's possible, the next question then becomes, how can I continue making this more possible? How can I continue getting it more and more a day? So the first goal is to get to $1,000 a day. And then it's like, then it becomes, all right, how can I get to $2,000 a day in a week? And then how can I get to $3,000 a day in a week? And as time goes on, you just want to get better at making it more consistent. And consistency doesn't always mean you need $1,000 every single day, Monday through Friday, in order to get $5,000 a week. It could just be, by the end of that week, you need to hit 5,000. And that's a problem that's a mistake that I've made in the past. It doesn't have to look like $1,000 a day or $1,000 a day every single day. It could just be $1,000 one day, zero the next day, $2,000 the next day. You see what I'm saying? Like, consistency is not just that one day. It's just making sure that by the end of that time frame, you're hitting that number. Because when you divide it by the numbers, then it's like, oh, this does equal out to $1,000 a day. So that's something I want to say as well. Like my brother and I kind of noticed that, because we were measuring our time frames too small. But then when we widened them, we're like, oh, we're actually hitting our targets, because we're judging things by the day. But don't do that. That's a rookie move. So that's just something for you to know as well. So that's why I said the add-ons, the a la carte services. You can also call this bundle. This can also be called bundle services. Next up, another thing that you can do. I don't know if I'll put this as an add-on or a bundle service. I guess you kind of can, but I'll make it different. So your rush service in your 24 hours, if they hit you up, like if your customer reaches out to you and want to book your service past a certain time, whatever that may be, beyond the normal business hours, so I guess beyond 5 o'clock, but really like beyond 9 o'clock, really, then you could add on a price. This is your late night price, right? So you can have your late night price and your rush service fee. So if they need something within an hour, and you know that you're fully capable, willing, and can do that on time, then that 1 hour service, that rush hour service, is an additional charge. So you got your rush hour service, and you got your 4-hour service. And sometimes some of these things stack. Some of these stack. It might be they want you to print something, mail it, bring witnesses. They need it and they need it after hours. Let me not say within 1 hour. That'd be crazy to do all of that in 1 hour. And when you do things like that, it kind of makes sense how you can hit that $1,000 a day more, because now that appointment you're coming out with 350. See what I'm saying? You see, it just makes more sense charging more. That's why, like, trying to be the cheapest notary is not like you're trying to fight win a losing game, because everybody just wants their customers to be, everybody just wants their price to be the cheapest. And I'm not trying to be the cheapest. I'm trying to like provide the best possible service that I can. And let me move this over because you guys can't see that good. Boom, boom, boom. So you can see what I was talking about right there. So going on to number 5, you want to get your repeat clients. Repeat clients are gonna be the ones that save you, right? So shout out to one of my business partners, Simba, in his cleaning business, for example. You can rely on your repeat clients, because in the day that you don't feel like running ads and you know you have a repeat client comes in, before you even have expenses, before you even have to worry about running ads, you know that you're gonna have people come in. You know that you're gonna have these customers that always need your service coming in. And that's the same exact thing that you want for your notary business as well. You want to have those repeat clients. So these could look like your law offices. These could look like your retirement homes. This could look like your title companies. These are the companies that mostly need you to come back. And what happens is when you work with bigger companies, especially those companies, they don't want to have different notaries doing their job. They want to work with like the same people over and over, which is why it's extremely important to have a good reputation. Because when you have a good reputation, they'll stick with you for a while. But once your reputation is bad, they're going to move on to the next notary, and then word is going to spread to other professional services. But these are the ways that you can hit $1,000 a day as a notary, no degree required. Of course, there's other tactics and strategies, but this is how it's done. This is kind of like a simple overview. So definitely take note of this. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Peace, love, and your boy Knowledge is out. If you found this helpful, make sure to join our free Notary Knowledge Academy. It's the #1 community for all notaries. And if you need one-on-one mentorship on how to grow your business from 3 to 8K plus in your notary business, all the links are down below. Go ahead and click that, and I'll see you guys on the inside.